the cable plugged in for me. There you are, cameraman. You got it. attack.
Okay, cool. Stand on the other side of the wall then.
Okay.
Oh, I won't be afraid, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as we stand for the national anthem, sung by the LaVenture Combined Choir under the direction of Ms. Rachel Ward. We will be honoring the flag that's up in front by the podium.
So proudly we hailed at the дамы и господа, мы начинаем нашу церемонию. Пожалуйста, выключите ваши селфоны. Дорогие учителя, родители и учащиеся 8 классов, спасибо, что вы пришли. И добро пожаловать на церемонию празднования выпускников 8 классов 2022 года. Это очень особенный день. Еще один шаг на вашем длинном пути, который начался с киндергартена. У нас была прекрасная возможность провести с вами время в LaVenture около 3 лет. Это был очень хороший опыт для нас, и также нам было очень приятно быть с вами. Но сейчас пришло время сказать вам до свидания. От имени работников всей нашей школы я хочу сказать, что для нас была привилегия работать с вами. Спасибо за хорошее время в течение этих 3 лет.
Señoras y señores, estamos a punto de empezar la ceremonia. Por favor, de silenciar todos sus teléfonos celulares. Personal de LaVenture, padres, familias y sobre todo la clase del 8º grado, bienvenidos y gracias a todos por venir a la ceremonia de graduación para la clase del 2022. Este es un día emocionante. El siguiente paso de un largo proceso que empezó en la kinder. Ha sido maravilloso haber tenido la oportunidad de conocernos durante estos 3 años. Ha sido una gran experiencia, pero por mucho que hayamos disfrutado de nuestro tiempo juntos, es hora de que nos despidamos, al menos por ahora. Hablo en el nombre de todo el personal de LaVenture cuando digo que ha sido un placer y un privilegio trabajar con ustedes. Gracias por estos 3 años.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're beginning the ceremony. Clearly, please silence your cell phones. LaVenture staff, parents, family, most of all the 8th graders seated in front of me, welcome and thank you all for coming to Moving Up ceremony for the class of 2022. This is an exciting day, the next step in a long process that began way back in kindergarten. It has been wonderful to have the opportunity to get to know each of you for the past 3 years. It's been a great experience, but as much as we have enjoyed our time together, it's time for us to say goodbye, at least for now. I speak for the entire LaVenture staff when I say it has been a pleasure and a privilege to work with you for these 3 years. Thank you. At this time, please welcome our Avid Site Coordinator and wonderful counselor extraordinaire, Ms. Kate Wall.
It's an honor to stand up here with 2 of our Avid students that graduated from LaVenture 4 years ago. There were 109 Avid graduates at Mount Vernon High School this year, and they're going to introduce themselves. They're going to tell us what they're doing next year and give one piece of advice to the 8th graders.
Hello! So, my name is Urania, and I'll be going to the University of Washington to major in psychology. And my piece of advice for you all is to just be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Okay, so I'm Urania. I'm also going to be attending the University of Washington in the fall. And my advice to you guys is to take every moment as it comes and be grateful for everyone that you're along the way.
Now the time is for you to hear from some 8th grade leaders. Israel, Reina, and Jason Ponce, come on down.
Good morning, teachers, staff, parents, family members, and most importantly, my fellow graduates. My name is Israel Arena, and as class president of LaVenture Middle School, I would like to start by congratulating all the 8th graders who made it through this year and are finally moving up to high school, and more importantly, the next stage in life.
Buenos días, madres. Buenos días, maestros, padres, miembros de familia y lo más importante, la clase de graduación. Mi nombre es Jason Ponce y yo estaré traduciendo a Israel Arena. Me gustaría empezar con felicitar a todos los estudiantes que han logrado finalmente estar avanzando en la escuela secundaria para el preparatorio. Más importante, la próxima etapa de la vida.
I still remember the first day of 6th grade, feeling like everything was humongous and we were just tiny compared to everyone else. I remember the feeling of being nervous, getting our schedules, wondering if we would have any friends in our classes. However, just as we thought we were the ones on top, we now have to start all over again as freshmen.
Todavía recuerdo el primer día de sexto grado, todo se me imaginaba grande y pensaba que estaba muy chiquito comparado a los demás. Recuerdo el sentimiento de estar nervioso, haciéndome pensar si en nuestras clases tendríamos algunos de nuestros amigos. Sin embargo, tal como pensábamos que éramos los de arriba, ahora nos toca empezar de nuevo en la preparatoria.
I made a lot of good memories here. In fact, my favorite memory was when our soccer team went undefeated, and the main reason we kept going was because it was Coach Santana's last year and wanted to make it the most memorable to the kids.
He hecho un montón de buenos recuerdos aquí. De hecho, mi favorito fue cuando el equipo de fútbol llegó a ser invictos y lo que más nos motivó fue hacer el último año del entrenador Santana memorable.
I know I'm not alone when I say the thing I struggled with most this year was math. It wasn't because I didn't have the ability to learn, it was because I would easily give up on myself. Whenever I try to figure it out on my own, I just keep digging myself in the hole and would just keep getting behind. One day my math teacher, Mr. Hill, told me to stay after school. We had a good talk. From there, I gained hope. This is when I realized that I didn't have to suffer through the math problems alone. I truly understood the purpose of a teacher. A teacher isn't someone who tells you what to do. A teacher is someone who doesn't give up on you, even if you give up on yourself like I did.
Sé que no estoy solo cuando digo que el aspecto con el que más luché este año fue la matemática. No fue por mi capacidad, sino fue porque yo simplemente me daba por vencido. Cuando trataba de resolver la situación por mí mismo, simplemente me hundía más y más. Un día mi profesor de matemáticas, el señor Hill, me dijo que me quedara después de la escuela. Tuvimos una buena conversación que me dio esperanza. Esto es cuando me di cuenta de que no tenía que sufrir solo por los problemas de matemáticas. En ese momento fue cuando realmente entendí el propósito de un maestro. Un maestro no es solo alguien que te dice qué hacer, un maestro es alguien que cree en ti, incluso cuando tú has dejado de creer en ti.
This is why I want to say thank you to all the wonderful staff members, because without them, most of us wouldn't be here. Thank you for making our lives better, because I don't know what I would do with all the support and resources they give us. I also want to acknowledge Mr. Gagnon, Mr. Santana, Mr. Irvine, Mr. Bell, Mr. Jimenez, Mr. Elliott, Ms. Dewey, Ms. Hogan, Ms. Campus, Ms. Kervanian, Ms. Morique, Ms. Stuper, and Mr. Cornell, who aren't going to be here next year. I just want to wish you guys the best in the future, and I would like to invite you guys to watch us graduate high school.
Por eso quiero agradecerles a todos nuestros maravillosos miembros del personal, porque sin ellos la mayoría de nosotros no estaríamos aquí. Les quiero dar las gracias por hacer nuestras vidas mejores, porque no sé lo que haría sin todo el apoyo y los recursos que nos han dado. También quiero reconocer al señor Donahue, señor Santana, señor Irvine, señora LaVelle, señor McManus, señor Elliott, señora Dewey, señora Hogan, señora Capis, señora Cabane, señora Marie, señora Cooper y al señor Cornhill, que no van a estar aquí para el próximo año. Yo les quiero desearles el mejor en el futuro y me gustaría invitar a todos ustedes a vernos graduar de la preparatoria en el año 2022.
Class of 2022, we just accomplished something great. This is not the end of the road for us. For many of us, we still have 8 years of education left in our life. These first 9 years are just preparing us for what's coming up next. We cannot be selective. Trust me, I know Fortnite and FPs are addicting, but we need to make time to prepare for high school. I expect a lot from you. Don't let these teachers who saw us and helped us grow down. Let's do the opposite and make it proud.
Clase del 2022. Acabamos de lograr algo grande, pero este no es el final del camino. Para muchos de nosotros todavía nos quedan 8 años de educación en nuestras vidas. Estos primeros 9 años nos han estado preparando para lo que viene en el futuro. No podemos procrastinar. Créanme, sé que Fortnite y Netflix son adictivos, pero necesitamos hacer tiempo para prepararnos para la escuela. Espero mucho de todos ustedes. No decepcionamos a los maestros que nos vieron y nos ayudaron a crecer como guerreros intelectuales.
I speak for most when I say I'm really going to miss this school. We're physically leaving, but this place will always have a special place in our hearts.
Hablo por la mayoría cuando digo que realmente voy a extrañar esta escuela. Nos vamos físicamente, pero este lugar siempre tendrá un lugar especial en nuestros corazones.
Thank you, gentlemen. So, Batman had his Robin, Skipper had his Gilligan, if you remember that TV show. People my age will remember that Johnny Carson had his Ed McMahon. People a little bit younger will remember that Dumb had his Dumber. That's actually not a good example. And you know, Macklemore has his Ryan Lewis. I want to take just a moment to mention that I've had a tremendous sidekick myself for these past 5 years. Andy Donahue has been a wonderful assistant principal. In his time here, he has truly come to love the students, the staff, and the family of LaVenture Middle School, and he has been an incredible support to me since day one. I'm very sad to see him go, but I am excited for the opportunities that are in front of him. To deliver today's keynote speech, I would like to introduce my Robin, my Gilligan, my Ryan Lewis, and my very good friend, Assistant Principal Andy Donahue.
And thank you for not including Dumber in the second time. I appreciate that. We'll talk later about that. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Congratulations, class of 2022. We're excited for you at this transition time. I also want to give a shout out. We have a live stream going on, so some people might be watching at home. My dad might be. Dad, if you're there in Miami, love you. Don't know if you found the internet, but it's a great thing. Anyway, I had a chance to, as he said, give the keynote, so I won't talk that long. But there are a few things that I would love to say just as we part ways. First of all, well, I'm just going to jump right in. As I think about what it was that I wanted to say when I only get a few minutes, I'm going to share with you what I believe I've come to know is the best question ever. The best question that you can ask yourself at key times in your life. So right now is a great transition time. You know, you're not in kindergarten anymore. Parents, I remember that day dropping off your kids in kindergarten. I know I do. I took the day off. I was a mess. Now here they are ready to go to high school. So we're excited for them. But we also want to kind of leave them with a few thoughts. And so I want to share with you what I believe is the best question ever, and a great question to ask yourself at a transition time in your life. And that question is this, very simple. In light of your future hopes and dreams, what's the wise thing for you to do? In light of your future hopes and dreams, what is the wise thing for you to do? And I'm going to share with you 3 things that I believe are wise for you to do as you move forward. The first one is for myself. I understand that in about an hour and 10 minutes, Portugal and Spain are playing. And so the wise thing for me to do is hurry this along. We'll see about that. So the first thing that I want to share with you that I believe is a wise thing for you to consider as you go into high school and beyond is choose your friends carefully. The people that you hang out with, your friends, have a huge impact on the quality and direction of your life. I'll say that again, because I think it's important. Your friends have a huge impact on the quality and direction of your life. Many of you know this from your middle school time. Many of you have had different friend groups and kind of gone through a normal, typical middle school thing, and that's very common. But you understand that already, don't you? In certain friend groups, you're happier, you're supported, things go well. Other friends groups, it's the mix. Don't make as good of decisions, you're stressed out, there's gossip, there's drama, blah, blah, blah. Choose your friends carefully as you move forward. That's number 1. Number 2, establish great habits in your life. Establish some great habits. And I'll give you one, which you might not like this one. Just imagine that you spend an hour doing homework or reading before you play Fortnite. Can you imagine if every time you log on to Fortnite, you spend an hour reading and working on your schoolwork? Just that one habit alone would have a huge impact on you. So as you move forward, think about important things to you in your life and establish good habits. Feed yourself spiritually, take care of yourself physically and mentally, establish some great habits as you move forward. Now is a great time to do that. It's a great time to do that as you move into the high school. The third thing I want to share with you, and the last one, I want to actually illustrate with a short story, very short. But there was a young boy who was playing in his backyard and found a caterpillar. So he was very excited, asked his mother if he could keep the caterpillar. And she said, well, as long as you take care of it, then yes, you may keep the caterpillar. So he was very excited. He got some sticks and plants and got a jar, poked holes in the top, and he had himself a pet caterpillar. Well, after a while, the caterpillar started to act a little funny. Kind of crawled up on the stick and started making some strange movements. And so he asked his mom, what's going on here? And she said, well, he's making, or caterpillar is making a cocoon, and he's going to transform into a butterfly. So, of course, the boy was very excited about that and began to watch it even more closely all the time. And sure enough, the day came, and there was a small opening in the cocoon, and the butterfly began to make its way out. However, the butterfly was really struggling to get its way out. It was a very small hole, and it had a hard time making its way through and getting through that. So the boy became very concerned. The longer he watched, the more concerned the little boy came, so he thought, I'm going to help. So he went and got some scissors, and he opened up the cocoon a little bit longer, so that the butterfly came out with no problem. Well, the butterfly, the body was pretty swollen, kind of puffy with fluid, and the wings were shrivelly and not very big, and not very strong. And the butterfly couldn't fly. And, of course, the boy was very sad. But you see, the reason the butterfly couldn't fly was because the opening is only supposed to be very small. That process of the butterfly struggling to work its way through the cocoon, that entire process, that's how the fluid in the body gets pushed out and into the wings so the butterfly is able to fly. A butterfly can't fly without that struggle. So I hope that point's obvious. You need to, as you move forward, or I would recommend that you embrace the struggle. You need to. You will have challenges. It would be extremely rare for any of you to breeze through and not have any challenges in your life for the next few years. You will have challenges. Embrace them. Struggle through them. Don't take shortcuts. Okay? That process of the struggle is what's going to allow you to soar. And we're excited for you to do that. 3 things. Number 1, choose your friends and who you hang out with carefully. They have a huge impact on the quality and direction of your life. Number 2, form good habits. Form good habits in key areas of your life. And number 3, embrace the struggle. It will happen. You will have challenges. And how you embrace them and how you move through them is important. So I'll end with that question again. As you transition, what's the wise thing for you to do? What's the wise thing for you to do? And you. And you. And you. And you. And you. What's the wise thing for you to do? Yes, and you too, Oliver. Okay? What's the wise thing for you to do? All right? So I'm going to end with something that I believe is wise for me to do. We have 3 long-time staff members here who are retiring. We have Mr. Santana, who's been here since 1996. We have Mr. McManus, who's been here since 1991. We have Mr. Elliott, who's been here since 1998. And I would greatly appreciate it if you would join me as we honor and appreciate these fantastic educators. So Mr. Elliott is in the back corner, Mr. McManus is here, and you're not seeing Mr. Santana. Could you please be on your feet, please? Could you please rise and join me? I'd like to introduce Ms. Catherine Hogan to do some athletic awards.
Hi everyone. First I want to say a huge thank you to all of the parents and the guardians and the families who supported our student athletes this year. It's made a huge difference in their lives, and picking them up from practice and coming to all our games, I know that they really appreciate that. And it's my pleasure to announce the student athletes who participated in 4 sports this year. So we have 4 sports seasons, so they participated in every single sports season that they could. So they showed a lot of hard work and dedication, and we're here to honor them today. So when you hear your name come on up, there's 3 students. First is Emily Nay. Second is Larissa Rao. And last but not least, Braulio Ramirez. Okay, and at this time, please welcome our counselor, Mike McMahon.
Ladies and gentlemen, students, thank you very much. I need to correct some. Mr. Elliott actually was here before me in '88, but I'm older. So, congratulations, Mr. Elliott. 27 years I've been here at LaVenture, 43 in education. 59 years in school, and I'm finally getting out. I have the honor to talk about a person with perfect attendance. With the district goal being 100% graduation, that is the first step, being here. It is so important. The biggest step in the right direction is showing up. It says you are dependable. It says that you are committed. So, Adrian, Britt, come on up. Adrian has been here every day. It is a remarkable feat to do that. There are days in our lives where we feel like, I don't want to go. But she came in here. And that's the important thing. Maybe you have the sniffles. Maybe you just don't feel good. Maybe you don't want to turn in your paper that's not there. Change it. Get here every day. It is remarkable. There's a Kiwanian named Elliot Johnson who has never missed a Kiwanis meeting. And he's in his 90s. So make it a goal. Make that one of your right choices. Congratulations, Adrian. Now Pam Aguilar is here to...
I'm cutting in front, sorry about that. Every year at this assembly, we asked or before the assembly, we asked our entire staff to recommend students that we deem outstanding sort of all-around students for a variety of different reasons. Of the approximately 180 kids seated in the first 4 rows here, 29 of you were nominated by your teachers and staff members. And of those 29, we are recognizing 8 of you because we had a little election after that. And so I'm going to ask an adult to come up and speak about each one of you. When you are done, and if you're the first one, that kind of isn't very fun for you, because I would like you to stand over here on the other side of the flag, and I'll stand with you, and we'll wait till all 8 of you are up there so we can have a real quick picture, okay? But I'm going to introduce Ms. Aguilar, and she will speak about her first student. Thank you.
Okay. First of all, I apologize. I'm just losing my voice at the end of the school year. So I see Brandon right here, but I'm also want to, where are Brandon's parents? Can you guys raise your hands? Brandon's parents. Perfect. Love it. Okay. So, I have had the pleasure of having Brandon Caro in my advisory for the last 3 years. And because of that, I consider myself pretty fortunate, simply because I start my day with seeing Brandon's smiling face. When Brandon was a 6th grader, he stood out among his peers, even at an early age. He was always willing to play our silly games, share his ideas and perspective, and just be committed to what advisory stood for, which is building community. Over the course of the last 3 years, Brandon has built a following in class. And I've done some thinking about why so many students like Brandon. Brandon leads by example. In an era where people love to brag about their stats, their grades, their athletic prowess, their Fortnite skills, Brandon stands out among his peers simply because he's humble See, Brandon doesn't have to brag because he's genuine. He's the real deal. I'm not sure if Brandon is even aware of how many people he affects every day. I know I'll miss him in advisory, and certainly his class will miss him, and most of all, LaVenture will miss him. Thank you.
It is my pleasure, and Ms. Solis's pleasure, to introduce the next student, a truly amazing human. And to be honest, I'm a little nervous. Not because I don't like public speaking, I love attention. And I'm sure he's rolling his eyes at me right now. No, I'm nervous because this kid deserves perfection, even in something as simple as an introduction speech.
Es un placer para mí presentar al próximo estudiante, un humano verdaderamente increíble. Y para ser sincera, estoy un poco nerviosa. No porque me gusta hablar, no me gusta hablar en público, me encanta la atención, ella. Y está seguro que el niño ahorita está volteando sus ojitos. Pero no estoy nerviosa, perdón, porque este chico, no estoy nerviosa porque está aquí, pero está nerviosa porque el niño merece la perfección, incluso en algo tan simple como un discurso de introducción.
I have never known a student who works so hard or puts so much effort into his schoolwork and accomplishes such high levels of academic excellence. He doesn't just kind of try on anything. He will make it the absolute best. It will be creative. It will be beautiful. It will be well written and challenging and unique. It will be all of the things. Teachers and 8th graders, and especially our avid family, you probably know who I'm talking about.
Nunca conocí a un estudiante que trabaja tan duro o que pone tanto empeño en su trabajo escolar. Él no solo hace trabajo, sino logra niveles tan altos de excelencia. Su trabajo es creativo, maravilloso, está bien escrito, desafiante y único. Es todo lo de arriba. Maestros y alumnos del 8º grado y especialmente la familia de Abel, ustedes probablemente saben de quién estoy hablando.
Edwin Cholula. In 7th grade, he performed slam poetry that his ELA teacher, Mr. Elliott, will always remember and rave about for years. And according to Ms. McFeely, our awesome music teacher, all through middle school and especially in jazz band, Edwin would show up for practice at 6:30 a.m. to be sure he knew his piece perfectly. And Mr. Harpel told me, what can I possibly say? He's extraordinary, and students like him only come once in a very long while. There's not many people like Edwin. He's incredible.
En el 7º grado, realizó poesía slam que su maestro de literatura, el señor Elliott, siempre se recordará y elogiará durante los años. Y de acuerdo con la señora McFeely, nuestra increíble profesora de música, toda la escuela secundaria, especialmente en jazz band, Edwin se presentaba a las 6:30 de la mañana para asegurarse que conocía perfectamente su pieza. Y el señor Harpel me dijo, ¿qué puedo decir? Es extraordinario y los estudiantes como él solo vienen una vez en mucho tiempo. No hay muchas personas como Edwin, él es increíble.
I asked him a couple weeks ago what he's most proud of from middle school, and he didn't mention his perfect algebra tests or his almost flawless essays. What I found so cool is that he told me he was most proud of himself for trying new things and for opening up. And when you are mature beyond your years, your insane hard work and pursuit of excellence will take you far in this world. You are already making LaVenture very proud, and I know you will do this for many years to come.
Le pregunté a Edwin hace un par de semanas de qué estaba más orgulloso de la escuela secundaria. No mencionó las pruebas de álgebra perfectas ni su ensayo casi perfecto. Lo que encontré tan genial es que me dijo que él estaba orgulloso de sí mismo por probar cosas nuevas y crecer. Edwin, eres un chico maduro más allá de tus años. Tu trabajo duro y la búsqueda de excelencia te llevarán lejos en este mundo y haces que la escuela LaVenture se sienta muy orgullosa de ti y sé que harás esto por muchos años más. Felicidades.
It is a privilege to be able to introduce one of LaVenture's outstanding students. Nick Clay, will you come on up here with me? I met Nick early in his 6th grade year when he was bullied by some students. We met with the students, and Nick was honest about how he felt and shared how he wanted to be treated. After that meeting, he suggested that our school start a group against bullying. He was the president. And within a few months, we had an assembly that we put on for the entire school. Mount Vernon High School heard about Nick and his charismatic way of empowering people to stand up against bullying, and he was invited to speak to the Mount Vernon football team and share his story. Personally, Nick is my go-to when others are bullied. I call him to my office, he listens to the student, he tells his story, and he encourages each person to stand up to the bully. Additionally, Nick is an avid student, a wrestler, and a helper to many teachers, and a friend to all. Most importantly, he takes care of his little sister, who suffers from a serious medical condition. This is where my cast comes in handy. Like, pull out some tissue. Right there. He carries her when she needs to be carried. He sits with her in the hospital. He puts her needs before himself. He truly has a servant's heart. If you have not met Nick, I highly encourage you to spend time with him because your life will be changed. Mine has been changed, and I want to thank you, Nick, for being my teacher. Mr. Parker said, Nick is an inspiration to all of us as he travels through life touching so many. He has impacted all of us in the most positive ways. He truly is a remarkable young man and is well deserving of this award.
Hi, I'm Rachel Wolf, choir teacher here. It is my pleasure to introduce another outstanding LaVenture student. She has given so much of herself to this school, and I think every teacher here would agree when I say she's made a huge impact, and she takes on projects that no one else notices need to be done. She volunteers for things daily. She helps me keep my mind straight when I forget things too. She's been a TA here, a leadership student, and my choir member for the last 2 years. She's been so much more than that, but I don't have time to list her many accomplishments. I'm sure if you've talked to her or worked with her, you know how many things she's taken part in. Emily Nay, will you come on up? works so seriously. She takes on projects, again, things that no one else seems to either notice or take the time and the effort to make happen. She never backs away from a challenge, and I worked with her through many challenges, and she has the tenacity and the spirit of somebody who will never give up, no matter what. When she has a setback, she picks herself back up and says, okay, well, what next? What shall I do now? It is this tenacity and this persistence that will take you so far in life, Emily. And I know we can't wait to see what you're gonna go on to achieve, because we know that no matter where she goes or what she does, she is gonna find success, and everyone around her will be positively impacted. Thank you for your contributions to LaVenture, for all the things that you've done here that will outlive you. They are your legacy, and we are a better school because Emily has been a student here. Congratulations again. You will be missed.
Good morning. I'd like to call up Jason Ponce. It is a privilege to present the Outstanding Student Award to Jason Ponce. Jason is an inspiring leader in this 8th grade dual language cohort. It has been a real honor and privilege to see him grow into a guerrero intelectual, an intellectual warrior. Those of you who have worked with this amazing young man know what I'm talking about. Jason is described by his teachers as hardworking, persistent, and dedicated student who motivates others. And as you can tell this morning, he was an amazing interpreter. Senor Santana describes Jason as a hard worker who always gives extra effort. Mr. Hale says, Jason is well liked and genuinely cares about his peers. Ms. Wolf says, he is a rock star who is not afraid to take on new challenges and responsibilities. In school, Jason is not only known for his leadership, academic, and athletic skills, but also for his positive sense of humor. In roles such as a student in the dual language program, AVID, LEAP, and soccer team member, Jason has been more than successful, leading by example and forgoing a bright futuro. Mijo, you will be missed, you will be remembered, but most of all know that your familia here at LaVenture sends you today to continue echándole ganas as you move forward in your education. And like you say to Señora Solis with a contagious smile, siempre al 100. Para adelante, papá.
Test. I haven't done this in a while. I've been too busy, putting the slideshows together and things like that. And sometimes you have to put things in order and prioritize, and so you don't have the time to really put together what you really want to say. And in talking about this individual, I can just go back to when this person walked into my classroom in the art room. Now, LaVenture has all sorts of personalities, like we've talked about in the past. You've got the ones that taught and really have so much energy. And then you've got the quiet ones. The quiet ones just come in and go about their business. And sometimes they go unnoticed for a while. But then little by little, as I would walk around the classroom, I would notice certain things. Saw how this individual applied herself to her work. And it was always just deliberate, methodical, didn't talk much. She let her work speak for itself. Her habits, same way, just would come in, know what was going on, took care of business. And those are the students that we appreciate because they are tuned in to what you are saying, and without question they are there to do as much as they can within their ability and give you 100%, and we appreciate that. I'd like to introduce to you Viridiana Ponce, who will demonstrate all those qualities. She walks the walk. Thank you very much.
I don't think I've ever given a speech in front of this many before, so I'm excited. So it's my pleasure to introduce Heidi Rosales. She's my 8th grade math class this year. So I've only known her this 1 year, but I've heard from some of our other teachers that have had her since 6th grade about how amazing she's been all 3 of these years. She can be pretty quiet in class, but she is always on task, she's always paying attention, she's always doing her best. She's very organized, very helpful to others. When I talked to some of our other teachers about some of the best traits about her, one of them mentioned that she really takes care of the people around her. And I thought that was a great description of how I see her interacting with others in class. She's often explaining math problems to others and encouraging others to get their missing work done. Ms. Shu said about Heidi that she is very quietly a leader in her class. Students notice her amazing organization and calm hard work, and they know that she'll always help any of them if they need it. If she's unclear about what she's supposed to do, she will try to solve her own problem first and then always seek help, which is really what we want to see in students, trying something first and then asking what to do next. And Ms. Shu said that you, Heidi, are what she sees as a goal for all students at this school, to be helpful, organized, and all of these things. So, and other teachers have mentioned your maturity, and how you come in, you put your head down, you get right to work, and we can always count on you to do the right thing. So you're definitely one of LaVenture's outstanding students.
Good morning. I have the pleasure of introducing our final outstanding student. Before I do that, I just want to acknowledge what an amazing 8th grade class this is. You guys are all outstanding. There are a lot of different ways to define outstanding. The final Outstanding Student Award will be presented to Ella Sanchez. Can she come forward? Ella is one of the strongest leaders in this 8th grade class. Her leadership is quiet, caring, supportive, reliable, and strong. The last couple of years have been difficult for Ella and her family, but she has managed this difficult time with grace. When Ms. Gonzalez started to cry, I thought it was just going to be her. She's handled it with grace, and through it all, she has excelled academically. In fact, she just completed 10th grade geometry this year, as well as AVID and leadership. She was a member of the Leaders Club for all 3 years that she was here at LaVenture, becoming a club officer this year. She has beautifully presented her personal story twice at the Lincoln Theater in front of a very full audience at our annual Hidden Truth Spring Showcase. She's also traveled with the club. This year she traveled to California to attend the Oaxacan Youth Encuentro. And in fact, 1 week from today, Ella will be traveling again to Washington, D.C. with other club members. I would like to thank Ella for letting us get to know her during her time at LaVenture. We're all better people for having known her. And I would also like to thank her mom, Serapia, for all of the support that she has provided to Ella. And I'm going to thank her mom now in Mixteco, Gonzalo. Shinda Vinananya Nijendenya Sarapia. Thank you, congratulations.
Thank you, students. You may have a seat. At this time, with the help of some of our staff members, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you the LaVenture class of 2022.
Diego Alba Nieves. Mercy Albertar. Angela Alfaro Parido. Jimena Arce Munoz. Imano Ariano. Selena Ariano Gama. Celeste Aviles Rizzo. Cecilia Aviles Soto. Jose Aviles Tapia. Jenny Bailey. Itzel Barajas. Rafael Barajas. Cesar Baragón Chavez. Duncan Bell. Ricardo Beltran. Jasmine Bermudez Cardenas. Zeta Bahari. Beverly Ross. Makai Brester. Anne Brillantes. Adrian Brick. Carlita Cardona Arce. Brandon Carr. Jacqueline Castellanos Carrera. Noah Castillo Lopez. Lino Castro Barrios. Jonathan Castro Guerrero. Coral Castro Mendoza. Jaylene Castro Salgado. Diego Cervantes. Chris Cervantes Caro. Edwin Cholula Ortiz. Nick Clay. Joseph Cohen. Gavin Corcoran. Leslie Covarrubias Garcia. Jonathan Cruz. Jorge Cruz. Angel Cruz Herrera. Casey Cruz Santiago. Diana Cuevas Pineda. Diana Gatsky.
Dixon.
Lisbeth Santa Cruz Rodríguez. Rosalinda Santos. Lisbeth Santos Hernández. Melina Shepherd. Elizabeth Silva. Katie Smith. Sydney Snyder. Wyatt Snyder. Jerry Solano Gonzalez. Daniel Solís Reyes. Christopher Silver. Joshua Spagnoli. Hannah Kiwalt. Madeline Thurman. Kimberly Torres Hernandez. Cecilia Trejo. Alexis Vázquez Mendoza. Alex Vázquez Trinidad. Anita Vázquez Hernandez. Joshua Velázquez. Esmeralda Villanova. Nathan Wells. David Wilson. Julian Wright. Michael Young. Jasper Youngfish. Joey Youngren.
One more round of applause for the class of 2022. Congratulations, you made it, everybody. So after 3 years, it is time for us to say so long, at least for now. You have given LaVenture Middle School a great deal, and we send you away with pride. I hope that you will not be scared of the dark. I hope that you will look back on your time here fondly, and that in some small but significant way, your experiences in this place will have contributed to your future success and happiness. Some very brief housekeeping before we dismiss. Number one, if you got the wrong envelope by mistake, don't worry about it. After we exit, we'll figure all that out and we'll get you the right stuff. Number two, I said yesterday we were going to do the class picture outside by the portables. Scratch that. After you exit, make your way to the library, and we will take a class picture in the library. Then we'll release you back out to say hi to your family and friends. And then the final thing is, tonight, bring your ticket, that's a must. Bring your ID, that's a should. And everything is free, all the entry is free, the refreshments are free. I do believe the high school is going to bring some keychains, t-shirts, lanyards, that kind of stuff to sell, to buy if you would like to. So bring some dollars, anywhere from $2 to $10, $15 for t-shirts, sweatshirts, that kind of stuff, if you would like to. You certainly don't have to. So, ladies and gentlemen, for one last time, I present to you the LaVenture Middle School and Mount Vernon High School class of 2022. to everybody for coming. In about 5 minutes, the kids will be back outside. They're going to get their picture taken. Sorry about the technical difficulties at the end, but thank you again for